everyone. We are here for the online training for how to grow your email subscriber, your email marketing. Everybody's on a different kind of place, so I will be kind of speaking to different levels for the next 40, 50, 60 minutes here. If you don't have this online training, it should have been emailed to you with this recording or in the calendar invite. And it's everything that we're going to be talking about tonight. And again, it's just kind of an overview of where you're at with your email marketing situation. So we already did introductions. I'm super excited to have everybody on here tonight. Feel free to stop me, go slow. Hopefully my more higher level email marketing, please input, help me out and suggest things. And if you're just getting started with email marketing, I hope I give you some new tips and some new motivation to get excited. The biggest thing I want to say is wherever starting point you are right now, we're just this month, the month of July, we're just focusing on just getting a little bit better. And you don't have to be an all-star email marketer by the end. It's just getting better than where you were before this month, even if you just take one step up. And then next year we'll take another step up. So baby steps are fine in this situation. You don't have to go to expect amazing results from email marketing. You do just have to level up a little bit because you'll see the fruits of your activity. So let me go ahead and share my screen, a little presentation, of course. The biggest thing I do want to say with building your email marketing is to not, one, get overwhelmed. With this idea, it is definitely overwhelming. Two is to not overcomplicate your emails. I see people overcomplicate it all the time, and you really want to simplify. So what's going to work for your team, your team, and your business? And honestly, be super simple when you're thinking about this. So I'm going to give you, again, a ton of ideas. You can do this, and you can do that, and you can do this, and you can do that. Don't take them all. Just be like, ooh, I like that one thing she said. I'm going to focus on that and go down that way. So use what you already have in your wheelhouse. If you already have somebody, we'll talk about it, but use what you already have. Don't try to do everything I'm saying. This is to help you think of possibilities, new possibilities that you might not have been trying. And then you do have to do work after today's webinar. So yes, I want you working on it right now, asking me questions, working on it right now, but you have to set aside an hour next week and the week after. And maybe it's, every Tuesday from 5 to 6 that you work on your email newsletters, or every Sunday, every Sunday evening, do something for your email. Pick out what you like and go with that, and then be practical. So another thing that I just want to bring up is be practical. The biggest thing I see is people are like, I'm going to send 2 email newsletters a month. And they do for like 2.5 months. And then it falls off and they're not practical. And so the biggest thing is whatever you do decide, I would say once a month or once a quarter. If you're not doing anything right now, if you're not doing any email newsletter right now, I would say do 1 a quarter and just 4 times a year, your email updates. And if you think you can tackle more, okay, after you do 2 in a row, 2 quarters in a row, go to every month. But you'd be surprised, it does take work. So just be practical with, I know I get people juiced up and they're like, I'm going to do it. And I even had a client call me today, and I've been doing helping him with his email newsletter for about 3 or 4 years now. And we do 1 email a month. And he called me today and he's like, I want to do 2 a month and da-da-da. I'm like, it's not practical for your business and the content and how you are. You want me to do 2 a month. I'm like, I'm not going to do 2 a month for you. So you just have to be practical, because it's how long you can do it is the best. So Carol, how long have you been doing your newsletter? Probably about a year now, right?
About 1.5 years, yeah.
1.5 years. And you've been super consistent, and it shows up, and it's very compelling and very well put together, and it's great. Janice, how long have you been doing your consistent emailing? Oh, you're on mute.
So I've actually had my list for a few years. I just need to grow my list. And I will say this, so I will add people to it who I network with, and then they can unsubscribe if they want to. I don't care.
Absolutely.
And but I'm not, I built lead magnets for my website. So my big thing is start promoting that. So I get people who actually want my stuff more so than my networking friends, because networking friends don't necessarily want it. But that's fine. So that's why I'm on here, I'm sure I'll pick up some nugget.
Okay. Lori, do you do email marketing? I don't know if I'm on your list.
You know what? And this is going to be one of my questions, because I've actually been doing email marketing for 6 years, but I have not added people that I've met through networking. And I have two different options. I have a weekly and I have a bi-monthly. And so I'm like trying to figure out if I should be adding people automatically or, yeah, I don't know.
Do you have this?
Yes.
Okay, we'll go over it. And the answer is in here. I just don't want to jump to that part. We'll definitely talk about your list and how do you add people and which one do you add them to. So why build an email list? I think we all know great customer service. People email me back and are like, I have, I think, just under 1,000 people on my list over the last 5 years, and people will email me back and say, hey, give me a call. They don't say I don't get, every now and then maybe I'll get a sign up or I'll get someone to take action from my emails. I really don't get a lot, but I get a lot of people replying and being like, hey, call me. Hey, call me. Hey, call me. And then I call them, and then that's when I make the sale. So it's just a really easy way to be in front of people, and they can just reply. Past, present, and future clients, you should always kind of have this revolving cycle, right? So I don't even know if you keep an Excel spreadsheet, or past clients are great future clients. Present people, they feel excited about their investment in you when they get an email. And then potential people, again, you're just dripping to people. Okay, syndicate your content. So I had a couple people on here, maybe your company produces content for you. I know doTERRA produces one. I know, I think that, I don't know if Arbonne does, but I know Boisset Wine. So they give you the content. Totally take that content, put it in your email newsletter, but then syndicate it. Make it a blog on your website, or make it a social media post. Put that, you don't have to just say, okay, that's my email newsletter content. Put content, totally put that on other sites, blogs or whatever. I have a little question in the chat. Sorry, my patient is here, but I would love to watch this presentation live. Okay, no problem, Nancy. Or they give you a little snippet of a concept, and then you can take that and make it bigger or make it your own and be make a bigger deal about it. So, and then it grows over time. So this is the exciting part. I started with 200 names, and then I had 300, and then I had 400, and now I have, like I said, just over 1,000. So access all clients with one communication channel. Yep. And then people buy from people who are organized. And so again, it shows that you are organized and shows that you're not just, this isn't a hobby. This is a legit business who, you mean business basically. And people are like, dang, did you see that newsletter? And subconsciously they're going to be impressed, and they're going to draw towards you and listen up when you're talking, and they see you in other places. So the possibilities are truly limitless. So where do you want to go with your business? And Lori, this is kind of applies to you, especially if you haven't been adding people to your newsletter. That could just be a missing link that really makes the possibilities limitless. So when do you put someone on your email list? Okay, so let me when to add someone to your email list. Okay, so on page 3, after a networking event, and this is something that I always preach, you often come across a pocket full of business cards thanks to a strong first impression. So do you have, Lori or anybody else, a stack of business cards of people that you've been meaning to follow up with on your desk? Okay, what? Janice, all those people, yes.
Yes.
Okay, Lori, Janice is showing all her business cards.
Yeah, I have a stack. I also have, I use a CRM.
Okay.
And so I have a lot of people in my CRM that I just haven't added to my email list.
So what's stopping you? Just time?
Well, no, honestly, I didn't think it was appropriate to add people without their permission. So I've been networking for 6 years and I've never added people that I've met over the years because I always did permission-based ads.
Okay.
But, you know, but I've been added to a lot of networking lists. I didn't,
you don't know where the line is. So
yeah.
one thing, what do you use to send emails? What's your system?
My home office sends them. Cruise Planners produces two newsletters a month, or they produce a monthly and then a bi-monthly.
Okay, so people can unsubscribe.
Yes.
So I would add everyone. And like for me, I have a disclaimer on mine, and I'm sure Cruise Planners does as well. And it says, you are receiving this email because you've shown interest in my company. And if somebody's given you their business card, they've shown interest in your business.
Okay.
Hey, Tess.
Yeah.
I also let people know on one of my email lists that they're on there because we are friends or we network together.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of the things I add on there as well. So I just take it as, forget it, I'm putting everybody on. And if they want to unsubscribe, go for it.
That's the thing. Don't get sad by unsubscribers, you know. I actually, Janice, in you and I situation, and actually kind of maybe in everybody's situation except for Lori, because it sounds like yours is free no matter how many subscribers you have. We want people to unsubscribe because then we don't have to pay for the next level of
subscribers.
So we're like, yes, clean that up for me, thanks. So I would basically almost every single person you talk to, and I don't know if you've ever seen this little list right here that I'm looking at, but all of your business cards that you collect, add them on Facebook or LinkedIn. If they're women, I add them on Facebook. If they're a man, I add them on LinkedIn. Send them a private message or an email or not. If you have the time, if you're like trying to grow your business, if you're trying to get cash flow right away, absolutely send them a private message or an email. But if you're good, if you don't have that type of time because your business is already going, don't. But then add them to your CRM. And then add them to your, what's that? Did somebody say something or not? No. Okay. It might just be the background for someone. Oh, it's probably Leah in the background. Okay. So add them to your list and then put them in a designated box. I have a box that's in the other room and it's just all my business cards. And then like once a year or maybe every 6 months when I'm kind of like needing a business, I'll go through that box and be like, who can I contact today that told me that they were interested, and I'll call them or whatever. So, Leah's saying sorry for her kids. No problem. Okay, so Lori, how do you feel? Are you persuaded? Are you going to start adding more people to your email list?
I am. Part of my hesitation has been, so Cruise Planner sends out the newsletters, and unfortunately, I cannot personalize them. Mm. So in my spare time, I've always wanted to write my own newsletter. And of course, we all have so much free time to do that. So I've kind of held off on adding people because I thought, well, when I eventually get around to writing my own newsletter. But because we offer 2 newsletters, one's a weekly and one's bi-weekly or bi-monthly.
Does that mean every other month, or does that mean twice a week?
Twice a month.
Okay, yeah.
Semi-monthly? No, I don't know. Anyway,
I think you're right.
There's one that's weekly and one that's twice a month. The one that's weekly, it's a little more salesy. It's not my favorite. But the one that's twice a month, it's actually, it's our luxury newsletter, and it's actually got more articles, and it's more in tune with my ideal client. So if I do add anybody to my list, I add them to my luxury list.
I want to be on that list.
Okay.
Who doesn't want information about cruising?
And it's not, yeah. So it's not going to be like, oh, sale, sale, sale. It's not going to, it's not going to look like I'm selling used cars or anything like that.
I would say go back 3 months. I would actually say go back to January, anybody you've met since January. But I know that's time consuming and a lot, and maybe you don't want to go back that far. I would say anybody you've met in the last definitely 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, add them to that newsletter. Add me for sure to your newsletter. What are you laughing at?
Well, I'm loving the buy-in from people that that this makes me feel better, because this is something I've always struggled with, is when I meet people in networking, is it okay to add them to my newsletter? And what I'm hearing is yes, it is. So thank you. That's why I'm laughing at myself for waiting 6 years to ask this question. So thank you for.
And there's a big scare right now. Like, I don't know if you guys, like, maybe 6 months ago, it was like, ooh, new laws and you're going to get in trouble and all this stuff. But when you read into it, it's all like excluding the US. It's all like for European countries. It doesn't even apply to us. But, and you do have to have permission, but you also have to have that unsubscribe button. There is somebody, I'm on their email list, and there is not an unsubscribe button. And it literally makes me hate them more and more and more. You guys might also be on the list. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but yes. As long as there's an unsubscribe button, add those babies to your list.
Yes, it's completely compliant.
And okay, and yours is who, like I said, who doesn't want information about traveling the world?
Okay.
No one I can think of. So you have a great product, absolutely. And again, I think the biggest thing for you is you'll probably see people reply every now and then, hey, give me a call. I'm interested in this or that or whatever. It's like, awesome. It's just working for you in the background.
Love it.
And then make as many connections after the first impression as, especially if you know that you have a bi-weekly newsletter. Sorry, I'm putting you on blast. But like, if I were to meet you and then within 2 weeks I receive a newsletter from you, I'm going to be like, dang, this girl knows how to plan a vacation. And all you did was input my email address, but it's impressive. People are impressed when they meet you and then they get a newsletter pretty quickly. They're like, wow, they're impressed. So spend 20 minutes a day or 1 hour a week adding people to your newsletter, friending them on Facebook, adding them on Instagram, liking their Instagram stuff. Who does this pretty religiously? Anybody do a pretty good job at adding people? Carol?
A little bit.
Benicia, how are you doing with it?
I'm just now getting into it.
Benicia, I would say for you, I don't, we can talk about it a little bit more, but for you, I wouldn't worry about building an email list right now. I know that you're kind of at the beginning. I'm sorry, I wouldn't worry about building an email marketing like newsletter that you send out. I would just worry about collecting email addresses. So basically anybody who comes and sees you, get their email address, put it in an Excel spreadsheet. Anybody you meet, just try to get 100, maybe 150 names. Then once you have that, okay, let's start talking about email, what you're going to email to those people.
Okay, because when they do come and they check out, then I went through my system and I did set up to where it asked for an email. So as they check out and pay, then it will pop up. If I don't already have their email, it'll pop up and ask them for it.
And then where did those emails go?
And then they go into my system.
What system?
I use Square.
Okay. So I would go into your Square. You can even do it right now and export that list. How many people do you have on that list? 20, 30, 10?
It may be about 40 or 50.
Look, so we can see the data, and then we'll say, okay, when you get to 75, we'll start sending emails. Or when we get to 100, we'll start sending emails. But I don't want you to be overwhelmed with the building of the email part if you're not there yet. Some people might not be there. Yeah, it's good not to do this between 9 to 5. Again, like 9 to 5, we're like checking your email and on just in a different state of mind. And then I feel like after 5, phone calls slow down, emails slow down. Doing this kind of after hours, you do it faster is basically my point with this. When you're trying to do it during work hours, you're not going to do it as fast. And this is just mindless activity that you could even outsource, but you know who these people are. And one thing I will say is, like, as if you are doing like a stack at a time and you're going through, yes, like I said, you could outsource, but I like doing it myself because then I can like send prayers and vibes and kind of like pray over that person as I'm adding them, and be like adding them with intention. And really, it's like, I'm not just going to add a bunch of people to my email list, you know, in 10 minutes. I'm going to really think about each one and say, like, you know, abundance for this person, for their business. And, you know, whether they buy from me or not, I hope my emails bring them happiness. And really thinking about each person that you input, I think you get more out of your email marketing. So I don't know where you guys are at. I know that's kind of woo-woo, but Leah says, for a nonprofit, should I just be adding emails received for vendors, government contracts, etc.? Yes, absolutely. And actually, you guys, I almost encourage you, anybody who emails me, if I'm like doing a partnership with them or whatever, add them to your email list if you feel comfortable, and like start putting emails to them. So basically almost everybody, even if I don't do business with them, I'll still add them. But again, set an intention when you add people and grow your list maybe a little bit slower, but it's kind of cool what happens. And then you're like, oh, I remember adding them, and I'm so glad I took time to like really think about that person and as a business when I did so. So I use MailChimp, and so announcing your newsletter campaign. So I actually have, like, if somebody signs up for my newsletter on my website, or if anybody signs up for my newsletter, they actually get like a welcome email that says, hey, welcome. I send emails once or twice a month. I've been slow lately, but you know, please unsubscribe at any time. I don't get offended when people unsubscribe. And then, so you can do that as you want, and then give an overview. This will be about, I talk about 4 different things, basically: social media marketing, personal development, business tips, and sometimes I throw in, you know, spiritual or fitness or whatever. But, and then include a prompt call to action. I think on the bottom of all my emails, I'm like, schedule a consultation with me, or follow me on, you know, follow my journey on social media, or just tell them to do something. Even if it is just, hey, let's be friends on Facebook and Instagram, and putting your buttons there. So does anybody have a question about the call to action that they're doing?
No.
You could be like, reply to this email for $5 off your next order or something. And then see, like, if you're like, you know, oh, I need business right away or something. And then see if like 2 or 3 people reply, okay, they get $5 off, but you get an order or whatever. So you could always kind of see who's paying attention and who would actually reply. Okay, so things to include: a personal note. This is something I always try to include, is like a picture. I'll just take it like from a recent selfie from like what I'm using on social media. I'll screenshot something, and then, hey, it's Tess, how are you? So even though I do have someone who helps me put 85% of my newsletter together, there's a space in there where I go in and I write a personal note, like, and it can even be like a motivational quote, or like, this is what I'm working on, or whatever. So I think I like to see personal notes at the beginning of newsletters. Recent blog or a social media post. Again, did you have a social media post that did well on Instagram? Take the graphic and take that content and just stick it in your newsletter, and let people see it again, and let people like it again. Or if you wrote a blog, power partners or other people is awesome. I love to see who you're partnering with. So like Janice, you could be like, I know you and Julia are doing stuff. Hey, check out, you are like power partnering with so many people. Include that content in your newsletters, you know? Screenshot your video, or did you see this recent video? Tips are always good. Offers, specials. Complimentary events. So like maybe if you're a chamber member, you could be like, hey, this is what's going on at the chamber this month. It has nothing to do with your business. It has nothing to do with you, but you're highlighting, community events or places to watch the fireworks or music in the park or whatever. And it's just not your content. Basically, the idea behind this is the more you can not talk about your business, not talk about yourself, the better. Or recent reviews and testimonials or success stories. So before and after pictures, things like that. Does anybody have any questions about this? Is this like more than enough, or does anybody struggle coming up with content ideas?
No, I'm good.
You're good.
Mm-hmm.
Carol, how do you come up with your content for your newsletters?
Well, I use a lot of stuff from the company. They provide us with videos and photos and information. So I usually take that and just not recreate it, but sort of massage it so it's more me. And then I'll do my own stuff. And I always put an intro video at the front where I'm talking to people so they can hear what's happened in the month or something.
I love it. You do a really good job. Do you send them monthly?
Yes.
Yeah. Upload contacts into a list. So again, if you haven't started with your email marketing, put them in an Excel spreadsheet that usually will transfer well into whatever you're uploading, or just put them directly into your CRM. And then the disclosure statement. Make sure it's compliant, which is pretty easy to do. It sounds overwhelming, but again, I just say, you've shown interest in my products and services, so you're on this email list whether you like it or not. And we already kind of talked about that. Have accountability or some sort of assistant to help you. Again, the biggest thing I see is people are like, I'm going to start emailing. And they do it for like 6 weeks. And then I never get another email from them again. And I'm like, good try, yo. So I remember like 4 or 5 years ago when I was just starting a business, I paid a girl like $300 a month or something crazy. I think it was actually even more than that. And I'm like, you are going to make sure that I send an email twice a month and you're going to help me do it. And she said, okay. And it got me for like 8 months. I paid her and I was sending out emails consistently. And again, I'm super proud of where my business is today and what it's done for me and little things like that. So, you might not see direct, and I'm not saying that you guys should pay somebody to help you, but definitely have an accountability system, whether it's your spouse or somebody, me even, saying, hey, are you sending an email? What do you need to do to get it prepped? Prep it the week before. Maybe you could have somebody that you help and they help you and you guys work on it once a month, your email or whatever. Continually add people to your list. So I'm in the same boat you guys are. It's hard to be like, oh, sit down and add people to the list. But when you add people, it makes a big difference. And again, it's like the buzz never really goes away when you're continuing to add. When your list gets stale, they don't know how many people are on your list, but I feel like my newsletter starts to get stale. And then when I add more people, it freshens it up again. For some reason, it's like they don't know, again, how many people are receiving it, but I just get more buzz or people say. And it's so interesting to me because I see people randomly out in public. And this happened like 2 or 3 times last week. And my husband was actually with me when it happened. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm on your list. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I've never done business with them. I actually like forgotten their name. Like, I didn't really know who they were. And they were like, no, I'm on your list. I get your stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So again, it grows over time. And when you continually add people, it continues to impress. And again, I've never done business with them, but I might do it soon. They're thinking about me because they saw me in person. So I don't even know if I'm going to get into this because it sounds like a lot of people don't even use MailChimp and you guys kind of have your own CRM set up, which is great. I recommend MailChimp only because it's super user friendly. You're right, Janice, there's not a lot of assistance. I guess I'm your tech support person if you have a question about it, but it's free up to 2,000 subscribers. So that's why I like it, because you get it free for a while until you get over 2,000 subscribers. But I other ones are easy. Constant Contact is super expensive, but again, it's a great platform. I haven't ever used Aweber, but it sounds like it's a very affordable price. And so MailChimp is not the end all be all. I have a question. Let's see. Is there a limit to per month emails? Nope, I don't think so. Only subscribers. So you can send as many emails a month as you want with MailChimp. Wix, I have 3 included. That might be email addresses included with your Wix account, but I could be wrong. Where are you guys at? Are you guys excited? Are you guys working on it? Working on your emails marketing right now? Janice, what's your new consistency goal going to be?
I just want to get, so I'm doing one a week, just one a week. I don't want to be doing more than that because when people send me daily emails, I unsubscribe because it's too much.
One a week is a lot, Janice.
Okay, so I'm repurposing because someone has taught me, that would be you, to repurpose my content more. And so for me, it's really not that big of a deal because I just really give a blog post. I have recipes that I give. I'm starting a new Fitness Friday thing, so I'm going to do that and give it to my email list. So I'm not coming up with anything new. And when I get my poop in a group, I also can schedule them out. So it's not that big. I make it harder than it really is because I'll put 2 or 3, I'll get 2 or 3 done and I'm like, oh, that took me 45 minutes. Hello, how easy was that? So I get in my own way. That's all. And I can see the calendar of when I send stuff, so I know if I've been slacking. That's all.
I'm almost wondering for you if I would say every 2 weeks.
Really?
Well, do you ever get anything from your email marketing?
I don't feel like I've been consistent with it. So, what's interesting is when I send out the emails saying, oh, happy July 4th or happy Mother's Day or whatever, I get a huge open rate and I get people responding. When
nobody's doing anything on those days. Okay.
So then when I send out other stuff, then it's like, no, I get a lot of crickets. And I do have a lot of calls to action of, P.S. friend me on Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn, blah, blah, YouTube.
That's the thing. So that's why I'm actually going to encourage you to just do 2 weeks because you're doing all of this work. You think, oh, I can create 2 to 3 emails in 45 minutes. Well, that's 6 weeks of emails. If you do them every 2 weeks. Because unless you're getting sales, which it doesn't sound like you are, you're overworking and doing too much activity.
Okay. Oh, God, I never thought I'd hear that.
And one activity is almost like, I see like when I take it away, people are like, more, So like I would almost slow down and then just say 2 every 2 weeks and schedule them out farther.
Okay.
And make it easier on yourself for your instance, because I'm on your list and I see what you said.
Yeah. Because I have a few different lists, so I actually am emailing more than one group.
You're just like a freaking rock star. But like, I guess I would prep them to go out farther.
Okay. I can do that.
You already have August already done and you don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You might sleep a little nicer at night, sleep a little tighter.
It'd be nice because I feel like when I do miss, it's like, oh, dang it, I'm not being consistent. But
that's the thing. You have so much content. It's about being consistent, building it out farther. I would maybe slow down a little bit with your emails.
You don't have to tell me twice on that one.
Okay. Christy Heffelfinger, how are you doing?
I am good. I'm just actually starting to build. I have some email contacts, but since I got my website, so now I'm starting to build that. And then with my book coming out, I need to also connect there. So I knew this was coming. It's here.
Okay, so for you, I would still, you're kind of in the beginning stage where you're just going to grow to try to get like 100 or 200 emails. I know you have that many.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to compile them in one place.
I have a stack of cards for that.
And then we'll talk about your content, you know, whether it's MailChimp or what you're going to use. But I think
Yeah.
for you is just getting all your emails in one place.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's just a start right now. So
Good.
but it's exciting.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
And then just get 200 emails by, you know, September. And then in September, we'll start your email marketing. Don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
And we can talk about your goals too with your book. How exciting.
I know. Next week it's coming out. So cool.
Okay, we should talk then before that too.
Yeah. Well, we're talking tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. We have a call.
Twice.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to mute you because you have background. Lori, how are you doing? Are you putting people on your list right now?
I will be. I'm processing a reservation, but I will start putting people on the list. And
well, that's more important. That's definitely more important. But yes, I would please put me on your biweekly list.
I will.
Because that's the thing. I just don't even know the possibilities. And like my husband asked me today, he's like, where's our next vacation? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what to start saving for, like what to start thinking. Because I can't even think past the second baby. But like, I don't even know, you know, I'm like, I would love to go to Paris, but I just feel like that's so like idyllic that like, it's never going to happen. It's like, of course, everyone wants to go to Paris, but like, what are my options? Like, you tell me, you know? So I definitely am excited for that, for your emails.
And Lori, make sure I'm added to your list too.
Okay. Thanks, Carol.
Cool. So y'all feel a little bit better about your strategy and your plan?
Yes.
Okay. And just don't overcomplicate it. Super simple. Get it out. Even if it's not your best work, nobody knows. Just get it out. Nobody's going to even open it. They, sorry to say this, but the average, it's like 20% even open your emails. So, you know, don't be saddened by that. If you get 22%, that's good or whatever. So just know. And a lot of them go to people's junk mail. And all that mess too. So that's why having a lot is better than, you know, it's a quality thing, yes, but it's also a quantity thing because a lot of it gets lost in junk and people don't open it. And that's why it's a repetition and keep it going. So please reach out to me personally if you have any additional questions or want to talk strategy or anything. I'm more than happy to help. And again, I don't expect you to tackle everything with email marketing. Just get to the next level. And we'll go over this again in a couple of months and we'll get to the next level then. And then every couple of months we'll kind of revisit this and do better and better and better. So, all right, I'm going to stop recording. I know how.